IVM.
This is the first time Abbas is actually taking a break. वरना usually हम बोलते हैं अब्बास बोलता है break लेंगे और फिर okay guys starting in 5 4 3 2 1
वक्त का मतलब होता है अब, प्यार करना है तो अब, माफी मांगनी है तो अब, पॉडकास्ट रिकॉर्ड करना है तो अब. Hi
Sorry
guys, welcome
दादा
to Hazard Age. Welcome to Hazard Age. Well, my name is Abbas. With me is my co-host Urjita Vani, joining from her house. Hi Urjita.
hello
I see you've been practicing the piano. It's still very much in the background.
yeah तस्मा पिच उस पे अभी डीजे के गाने बजने वाले हैं ढोल yeah everything I'm trying to play tabla on my piano that's going on right now
Is the DJ going to be John Abraham, Urjita?
why oh yes good very nice
The reason I asked that because the movie we're discussing today, John Abraham makes a little cameo as a DJ. The film, of course, is Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna from 2006.
yeah
And joining us to discuss Kabhi Alvida Kehna is a film critic from Digital Mafia Talkies. He's joining us all the way from Siliguri. Please welcome Pramit Chatterjee. Hi, Pramit.
Hello.
Woohoo! Hello
Pramit, as the what do you call as the tradition says, "Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna." So, without saying Alvida, I'm gonna say hello. I don't know what I'm
I
saying.
thought
I just
I
want to
thought you were
introduce.
going to say as the tradition says आपने किसी पे cheat कर किया है क्या?
नहीं,
क्या
नहीं,
है?
we'll come to that. इतना
We'll
that
come to that.
don't we'll come
एकदम
to that.
hard,
Right
हाँ.
off the bat, you can't ask that question. But Pramit, so one of the reasons, I mean, there's two reasons I think episode is very timely is because we're recording this on a Monday, and this week on Friday, Karan Johar's new film is releasing, Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani, and it's
Yeah.
been a while since Karan Johar has been behind the camera, so we're all excited for that. And secondly, you wrote a very long thread about Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna. By the way, you write threads about films normally, like that's literally your job,
Yeah,
and you revisit a
yeah.
lot of films and you give a little assessment of what you think of it. It's kind of what we do, but you do it in tweet form, and we just blabber on the mic. So you did a Twitter thread on Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna. I will put it in the link in the description. And you had a pretty fair assessment of it. Like you revisited and you liked the film. So we thought it'll be interesting to get you on. But I just before we start, I want to know both of yours. So this is the first like full-fledged Karan Johar directed film we're discussing on this show. We've discussed Kal Ho Na Ho, which was produced by him, and this film comes pretty close after Kal Ho Na Ho, also set in America. Also, New York plays a big part in this film as well. But Pramit, your just first sort of relationship with Karan Johar, what do you think of him as a filmmaker, as a personality? What's your take on Karan Johar?
I think I think he's one of the most competent filmmakers. He has an eye for visuals and he understands people, characters. But उसका थोड़ा tonality का issue रहता है because like his comedy just goes too far off from the subject matter. मतलब एकदम
Right.
opposite spectrum में चला जाता है. So that
Can you
is
give
like
us
my
an example?
yeah, like if we are talking about this movie, like I think Sexy Sam works in a movie of his own. Like he is in a movie of his own. कोई मतलब नहीं है उसके लिए
Correct.
movie से. He's doing his
Yeah.
own thing. Every time he comes, I'm like, okay, we are in a different movie now. So and I saw the Instagram story that Urjita put up of that scene where they are kind of realizing that they are in love, like Shah Rukh and Rani. So and again, that can be a better scene if it is handled in a mature way.
Correct.
But he just
Yeah.
goes too far off. So
Yeah.
but he has an eye for visuals, and yeah, the
Okay.
song itself, the
Definitely.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Urjita, what about you? I don't think I've ever asked you what you think at large about like Karan Johar or his
So,
films.
Karan Johar, I have a love-hate relationship with him. It's this relationship where I think he is one of the very few directors who who can completely like sell a universe to me. I don't know about other people. I'm only talking about myself. Even at this age, अगर वो दिखाएगा कि अच्छा ये love story है, ये दोनों अजीब aliens के बीच में, I will be sold. I will be so, and I feel so involved. I kid you not, I feel like you know Rani Mukherjee ka wo jo expression है ना, typical Rani Mukherjee expression, jo solemn but confused, you know, the kind of expression where you can see that she's in a dilemma, like a very stupid dilemma, but she wants you to respect that dilemma. That expression, I feel like I was wearing that throughout while watching the movie. I was like, oh yeah, मेरे भी life में same problem है, yeah, totally, yeah, agreed. Yeah, I also have a husband जिससे मैंने जबरदस्ती शादी की. Of course I get you, Rani. Yes. You, I feel sold, and like I like वो कोई भी problem, कोई भी घटिया problem मुझे बेच सकता है. That's what I feel. But again,
True.
he is
Yeah.
not able to do that in every movie. Like Student of the Year, I didn't feel that. I'm sorry. Student of the Year, I wasn't sold on. And but also at the same time, it's like कि वो 98% तक सब सही चीज करता है, and then वो अपने ही characters को इतना, उनका आर्क इतना अजीब तरीके से क्लोज करता है. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, ही हैज अ वेरी वियर्ड थिंग where he gives where he feels like giving punishment to characters, जैसा उसने ए दिल मुश्किल में किया था. which by the way, अगर वो इंटरव्यू में बताता नहीं तो किसी को पता चलता भी नहीं. You know why Anushka Sharma got cancer in ए दिल मुश्किल?
Why?
Because she said no to Ranbir Kapoor.
No to him,
Oh,
as
I
in to be
Yeah,
cast with
as in
him.
this character, her character says no
Oh,
to
okay.
Ranbir Kapoor. That's why she got cancer. That was his reason, and he said that with a straight face. So, once I watched that interview, I could connect all the dots. कि अच्छा ओके ये मूवी में भी ये पनिशमेंट थी साला. And just that like in this movie also, like there is the punishment in the end, which I think we'll get back to once we discuss the whole movie. But
Right.
yeah, it's like 98% तक सब चीजें सही करता है, but बाकी remaining 2% वो गांड मारा देता है. Just very bad.
This will go on the poster of Rocky और रानी की प्रेम कहानी. 98% अच्छा है, 2% गांड मार दिया.
Yeah.
My take on Karan Johar is that so I agree with both of you, the points that you made. I think Pramit, what you said about humor, I think that kind of extends to some of the things which in retrospect become very cringe. So for example, I was watching Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham a couple of months ago, and again, like Urjita said, most the basics of that film are in place. Like I get what the characters want and why they are rebelling and what are their motivations, but then उन सब के बीच में suddenly a white kid, an Indian kid in foreign land has to stand up and sing the national anthem so that he can show the white people how patriotic they are, right? So it's stuff like this where I don't know if it was cringe when it came out, but when I rewatch it again, I'm like, dude, this is so cringe. And I think I have things like that in all of his films. Like you mentioned, Sexy Sam in this one, but I think for better or for worse, Karan Johar is the guy who changed the face of Hindi cinema for the last 25 years. I think post Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, DDLJ was kind of like um, uh, the turning point, and then Kuch Kuch Hota Hai just like sort of blasted it into the stratosphere. And I think for better or for worse, Hindi cinema follows a pattern that is set by Karan Johar in the late 90s, early 2000s. And now, sure, you can argue whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, the backlash he's getting and all of. We'll get into all of that when later on in the episode. But Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna 2006, Pramit and Urjita, both of you are in your 20s. Do you have memories of watching this film for the first time when it came out in theaters? Pramit, what about you?
I wasn't allowed to go to the theaters. मेरे मम्मी पापा गए थे, but I was like, नहीं, तुमको ये movie नहीं देखना चाहिए. So I think my first exposure to the movie was through the songs. तो
Right.
वो जब and since we started with John Abraham वाला cameo, तो वही वाला song मैंने पहले देखा था. तो I was like, पार्टी टू नाइट ये वो चल रहा है, फिर बीच बीच में वो सेक्स सीन आ रहा है, तो मुझे लग रहा है ये क्या हो रहा है, क्योंकि आई डोंट हैव एनी कॉन्टेक्स्ट कि क्यों हो रहा है पार्टी. तो वो डबल ऑन्ट्रे मेरे को बाद में समझ आया कि हाँ पार्टी कहीं और हो रहा है, इधर पार्टी नाच रहा है, बस इधर कुछ और हो रहा है.
I was about to say that. Young Pramit was like, but party तो कहीं और चल रही है. Why are they dancing?
So I think after that मितवा वितवा वो सब songs ही बस सुने थे. And I think after around 5 to 10 years उसके बाद मैंने पूरा मूवी देखा था. And even then I couldn't like completely get it कि यार ये लोग शादी किए हैं, फिर ये लोग खुश क्यों नहीं है? मतलब वो मेरे को
Mhm.
कॉन्सेप्ट ही समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि क्यों तो शादी मत करना, मतलब ये मेरा कि जब शादी हो
Right.
जाती है तो इट्स फाइनल, तो उसके बाद क्यों तुम लोग इतना दुखी हो? तो
Hmm.
नाउ दैट आई वॉच्ड इट, नाउ आई कंप्लीटली गेट इट। हाँ,
Hmm.
मतलब क्या चल रहा है क्या नहीं चल रहा है। सो या
Okay. Urjita, first memories of watching this film?
तो मैंने नहीं देखी थी, आई वॉच्ड इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम अभी फॉर द रिकॉर्डिंग, बट आई न्यू कि क्या
Ooh.
मूवी में, मुझे वो मूवी के बीट्स पता थे, बिना देखे मुझे पता था क्या मूवी में चलने वाला है, बिकॉज इतना सुना था
Hmm.
उसके बारे में ऑलरेडी। बट मैं आई किड नॉट, मैंने अपने डैड को भी पूछा कि डैड डू यू रिमेम्बर वॉचिंग कभी अलविदा ना कहना है, एंड हिज रिएक्शन वाज वही मूवी ना जिसमें इसका बीवी इसके साथ, इसकी पति इसके साथ। ये क्या है यार, ये क्या समरी है, ऐसा नहीं होता है। बट या आई थिंक दैट वाज लाइक द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ सो मेनी पीपल, राइट, दैट अभिषेक एंड प्रीति जिंटा आल्सो गेट टुगेदर, बट दे डोंट, बिकॉज आई
They
थिंक इफ
don't,
दे
yeah,
वुड हैव
exactly.
गॉटन टुगेदर देन फिर वो कॉमेडी बन जाता कि ओहो, ओहो,
Hmm.
फिर अक्षय
Hmm.
कुमार ऐसे बीच बीच में आता बार बार ये करने के लिए। But no, I watched it for the first time now, and should I just say what I felt about the movie?
Yeah, sure.
I liked it.
Hmm.
I don't agree with the concept of cheating, not
You
one
don't
bit,
need to be
because
embarrassed for about that opinion,
I
Urjita. It's
I
okay.
I love the way they have handled the topic of cheating, and also like at the same time I feel like this old mummy जिसका ऐसा है कि अच्छा बेटा तुम में भी ये पोटेंशियल था, ऐसा पिक्चर इतने मच्योरली हैंडल करने का, क्या बात है। तो थोड़ा बायस वो भी है उसमें कि ओ अच्छा, मतलब इसमें जरा भी मतलब चीटिंग जोक्स नहीं मारे, कुछ नहीं मारे। So it's like I
Hmm.
really loved how they have handled the movie. But yeah, that being said, I was constantly relating to Abhishek Bachchan's character, because when I watch these movies, I feel ये मेरे साथ होने वाला है। I don't think कि ओ मैंने गलती से अगर कहीं पे पैर फिसल गया तो no, I think मेरे वाले का पैर फिसलेगा, so that's why I was yeah,
So
but
that's interesting. Why didn't you relate with the Preeti Zinta character, considering she is also a woman?
नहीं, because I'm the romantic in a relation. I'm like a proper romantic in a
Okay, got
relationship.
it.
And
Hmm.
also
All
because
right.
Abhishek Bachchan is such a cutie यार, उसको
That's
मतलब
true.
उसकी उसकी तरफ देख के समझ में आ रहा है कि यार इसको he is so blind in love with her that he
Hmm.
is taking all the breadcrumbs that she is giving him. And sometimes तो she's
Hmm.
not even giving him breadcrumbs. वो सफाई करते करते जो पाव वाव गिर गया है, it is that because she's
Yeah,
crazy
she's
about
cleaning the
cleaning.
breadcrumbs.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Cool.
understand why Rani Mukherjee was constantly cleaning the whole house, because I
Okay.
think she had some sort of guilt about the fact that she married him even though she doesn't love him. And that's the guilt that she's trying to wash off
Hmm.
subconsciously. Like, that is my understanding. I
Okay.
could be completely wrong. But
Hmm.
yeah.
But as Abhishek Bachchan points out towards the end of the film, कि हर कोना तुम साफ करती थी पर सबसे बड़ी गंद इस घर में तो तुम थी.
No, Abhishek Bachchan's
But
performance was really good. Like it surprised me a lot. क्योंकि मुझे लगा
Yeah.
कि
uh-huh.
मतलब he was really गट से ऐसे एक्टिंग कर रहा था, ऐसे लास्ट जो वो आप बता रहे हो कि वो जो मोनोलॉग एक टाइप
Yeah,
का
yeah,
बोलता
yeah,
है, रियली
yeah,
गुड।
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll come to the individual performances. I also think Abhishek is good in this, but the overall, what I thought of this film. So I actually watched this in the theater when it came out in 2006, but I was 18 at that point, and just like you, just like Pramit, I did not quote unquote get the movie when I saw it, and I saw it with my parents and my sister. Okay, and this is a very awkward film to watch with your family because in Indian households we don't talk about infidelity and how to keep a marriage alive and love and all of that. So this time around when I was watching it, I think this is Karan Johar's most mature film. I think he has handled some things very well. For example, even though Rani Mukherjee's character cheats and finds love outside of marriage, there is not even once that angle ke tumne hamare parivar ki naak kaat di, and that was very refreshing. And I thought,
Hmm.
I thought, is that why Karan Johar wrote the sexy Sam character? That, oh, I have to show this guy as sexually promiscuous, equating that with progressiveness, so that when it comes around, this guy on his
Hmm.
deathbed is not shaming his daughter-in-law, but he's actually saying that, dude, if you don't love my son, please leave him. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. which is actually this film almost. I mean, it's surprising that this is his next film after Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, because this is the exact opposite of the role that Amitabh plays in that film, where he's very strident about parivar and parampara and all of that. And in this, he's completely different. The second thing is also the scene that comes in the beginning between Shahrukh and between Dev and Maya on the bench, where Maya says कि कभी कभी दोस्ती प्यार की जगह ले लेता है, and I'm like, dude, this is the guy who has a hairbrained in our heads के प्यार दोस्ती है, and now like 5-6 years later he has this character saying कि कभी कभी दोस्ती प्यार की जगह ले लेता है. So I would just like to just firstly just break down the plot of the film. So the film is revolves around two couples. One is played by Shahrukh and Preeti Zinta, who's Dev and Riya. The other is Rani Mukherjee and Abhishek Bachchan, who are Maya and Rishi. And the setup is that Shah Rukh Khan is a soccer player. He's an upcoming soccer player in America for some reason. I don't know why that that choice was done, but he meets Maya on her wedding day, and she's getting cold feet, and she doesn't want to go through it with it because she's not sure whether she really loves Rishi, because she owes her life to Rishi and her father, who took her in when she was an orphan. And he talks her into getting married because he says, you gotta go ahead and marry. It'll be do better for your life, because he's married to Preeti Zinta's character, and they were college sweethearts. And on the same day, he meets with an accident which derails his career. He goes through an injury because of which he's not able to walk properly, so he becomes very very grumpy. This is probably one of the few, or probably the only Karan Johar film which deals with a grumpy character. I thought Dev's grumpiness in the first half is very, very, like, he goes out of his way to make us show that he's grumpy. Pramit, what did you think of Shah Rukh's character? Do you think he overdid the grumpiness, or was that required to see that transition? And that's one question. And the second is this whole antithesis of Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum and Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, showing characters going out of marriage to find love.
आई थिंक कि वो जो नी जर्क रिएक्शन था कि लाइक दिस इज वन ऑफ द वर्स्ट शाहरुख खान मूवीज, दिस इज वन ऑफ द वर्स्ट करण जौहर मूवीज की they were all going against the type that they had created, कि उन्हीं लोग
Correct.
ने
Yeah.
इतना साल से एक स्टीरियोटाइप खुद के लिए बना लिया है कि वी आर द रोमांटिक टाइप्स. मैं जब स्क्रीन पे आऊंगा शाहरुख खान, यू आर गोना लव मी
Hmm.
एंड यू आर गोना लव मी
Hmm.
थ्रू आउट द फिल्म, यू आर गोना रूट फॉर मी. बट इसमें क्या था कि इन द फर्स्ट सीन इटसेल्फ लाइक यू स्टार्ट हेटिंग हिम, लाइक द वे इवन लाइक आई हैड सम जो ट्विटर थ्रेड लिखा था उसमें तो जो कमेंट्स आए मतलब बताने लायक भी नहीं है. बट उसमें उसमें they were like I hated
Wait,
Shahrukh Khan, I hate.
Pramit, people were mean to you on Twitter? Really,
Yeah.
that
What a
happened?
shock! What a shock!
Sorry,
So
please
yeah,
continue.
yeah, and it was like it was very purposeful कि वो हम लोग को hate करना है उस character को, because and people said that after the accident he got bitter, but before that also he was kind of condescending towards Preeti Zinta कि अरे
Correct.
तुम मेरा मैच देखने नहीं आए, and he was like bitter about that, and तुम मैच जीत गए यार कितना है तुम रो रहे हो. So and so I think that was the reason for the knee jerk reaction कि like we can't watch a movie about unlikable characters, like वो
Right.
हम लोग नहीं डील कर सकते, like that was. but
Hmm.
अभी जैसे अभी हम लोग देख रहे हैं and we have seen like अभी जैसे मैरिज स्टोरी एंड इवन फैंटम थ्रेड भी हो गया, एंड इट इज लाइक बाय पॉल थॉमस एंडरसन और नोआ बॉम्बैक, तो सब कोई
Yeah.
बोलता है कि अरे मतलब दे आर अनलाइकेबल कैरेक्टर्स, दे आर चीटिंग एंड दे आर टॉक्सिक पीपल,
Yeah.
तो तब सब कोई बोलता है कि हाँ मतलब वी कैन एक्सेप्ट दैट. बट बॉलीवुड कर
Hmm.
रहा है तो नो 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 वी कांट वॉच दैट. अभी हम लोग को
Yeah.
बस
Yeah.
रोमांस.
Yeah.
Bollywood में
Hmm.
unlike the most that we can accept a character being unlikable is when the character is an anti-hero, like an out and out anti-hero. जैसे शाहरुख खान in Dawn, Ranveer Singh in Padmavat. But like speaking of grumpy characters being the lead, I think Arjun Rampal in Dil Ka Rishta. I don't know if you've watched the movie. ये इतना हिट नहीं गया था ये पिक्चर, बट दिल का रिश्ता, अरे दिल का रिश्ता वो मूवी है जिसमें दैया 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 अरे वो गाना आता था. So,
गाना ही
like,
देखते
like,
हैं.
like Pramit
Oh,
is like,
now
of
I
course,
remember.
that's a very popular Aishwarya
Yeah.
Rai song. Of course, that's a very popular Aishwarya Rai song. यही तो आईफा में बजता था. नहीं, so in that movie, Arjun Rampal plays the slightly grumpy lead. So, but yeah, I think, yeah,
Arjun
mainstream
Rampal
movies
also
में
in
तो
this
नहीं.
movie.
Yeah,
makes a
yeah.
Which is
special appearance in this
very
film,
popular,
plays the editor of Jiva magazine, which Preeti Zinta is working for. Do you guys think this film was like Karan Johar had to set this film in New York because otherwise, like you can't imagine this movie in India because like infidelity would be treated a completely different way, and the
Yeah,
sexy Sam character would be would not float if the film was set in Varanasi. I
yeah.
don't know.
Sexy Sam character in Varanasi would look something like this. "अरे छोरी आती क्या घर में? Hello, madam,
right?
number तो देती जा 98200." That's what he would sound like in Varanasi. That's why
एकदम
I
पूरा
think.
क्रीप हो जाता. Yeah,
Yeah,
एकदम पूरा
yeah.
क्रीप हो जाता.
Exactly.
So
But
yeah,
do you think the, yeah, go ahead,
yeah.
Pramit.
आई वाज थिंकिंग दैट टैक्स इवेशन इश्यूज तो वो तो था ही, बट उसके साथ न्यूयॉर्क में सेट करने वाला, मतलब या आई थिंक इट वाज लाइक मॉडर्न ज्यादा यूएसए है तो वी हैव टू डू इट देयर, एक तो
Hmm,
वही है.
hmm, hmm.
एंड
Correct. Yeah,
या
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
मैंने गूगल पे
True.
रिव्यूज भी देखे कभी अलविदा ना कहने के, बिकॉज आई जस्ट हैड टू. फर्स्ट रिव्यू वाज दिस इज अगेंस्ट द वेरी फैब्रिक ऑफ इंडियन सोसायटी. नको आता नको नंतर या नंतर या. काय माझी मीटिंग चालू आहे, जा मावशी जा.
But I thought you, just as her mom was entering, you were
Yeah.
like, "This is against the very fabric of Indian culture, mom.
This
Will you
is
let us
not my
record a
mom.
podcast?"
This is a house help. I चले गए कि अभी बताओ. She's like कि नहीं 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 मैं कुछ धीरे से कर लूंगी, दिखाई नहीं देगा कुछ. नहीं 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 go.
Okay,
So
we'll
yeah,
take
तो
that right
उसका
away.
वो yeah. तो गूगल पे मैंने देखा the
Yeah.
first review was this is against the fabric of Indian society. You are trying to break the fabric. So and the second review भी something similar. So I realized that अच्छा okay, this was the
Dude, so
overall
yeah, this
reaction.
movie is not very highly rated. It has 6 out of 10 on IMDb. And I remember that even back then, even in 2006, this film did not get like it was people were torn into two camps. One was, of course, oh, this is progressive and something new. And but
Hmm.
I think by and large, at least the audience reaction was ke Karan Johar ne hak diya hai. What the fuck has he made? Because I remember Karan himself said in an interview that on the premiere night, one woman, one auntie, grabbed him aside. I don't know how true this is. Karan Johar said this. Grabbed him aside in the interval, and she was like, कि मैं अपनी बेटी को आपकी पिक्चर देखने लाई. उसका अभी अभी तलाक हुआ है. मैं पिक्चर देखने लाई उसको कि करण जौहर तो बड़ी अच्छी फिल्में बनाता है, मतलब गाने शाने होते हैं और लोग बड़ी जोक्स वोक्स मारते हैं और आपने ये बनाया है, अब मेरी बच्ची और सैड हो गई है. And Karan Johar was like, what the fuck do I do? So yeah, this film was not very well received, from what I remember. One second. Do you guys want to get into Sexy Sam? You guys want to discuss him? Get it out of the way.
प्लीज.
Okay, so what is happening there? Because here's the thing, right? So I get that the inspiration for this was Hugh Hefner. And Urjita, we talked about when we were doing the Aankhein episode, we talked about how in the early 2000s, Amitabh Bachchan wanted to experiment. He was like, I want to play
Yeah.
against type. So he played the villain in Aankhein. He also played a very weird role in Ux, which was Rakesh Mehra's first film. Um, this was, like I said, like complete. He's high out of his Kaun Banega Crorepati fame. I get that. Like I said, the inspiration is Hugh Hefner, but they're not even playing it as if he's a playboy, right? Because, sorry, they're not even playing it like he's a Casanova and he's just so charming that women throw themselves at him. This is just blatantly like there is a line which says, it's so weird when a call girl calls you. So he's sleeping with prostitutes. Like this is not. It's not even like hidden. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, just tell me your thoughts about that character.
I
I
think
think
I
that
felt
character
like,
had aged the worst.
but I feel like that was the most realistic part of about that character, because अगर ऐसा दिखाते कि वो एज में भी अमिताभ बच्चन के पीछे willingly यंग लड़कियां आके उसके मर रही है उसके ऊपर, that would have been really मतलब unreasonable कि come on भाई साहब इतने भी आप hot नहीं हो, calm down buddy, calm down. So I feel
But
that was
we,
the, in fact, the call girl was the most realistic part about the whole sexy Sam thing. Ki of course, like he's paying them money to do this. Why would anybody do this willingly out of love?
एक तो रियलिज्म वहां पे भी ब्रेक हो जाते, ब्रेक मतलब वो एक सीन में आता है कि अभिषेक बच्चन इज टेकिंग हिम समवेयर टू द वेडिंग आई गेस, एंड ही एंटर्स द रूम एंड द बेड इज ब्रोकन, एंड ही
Yeah.
आस्क्स लाइक ये कैसे हुआ? And अमिताभ बच्चन ने मैं सब सिखाऊंगा. I'm like, what are you talking? And at the by the end, it is they are trying to convince us कि अमिताभ बच्चन मर जाता है because रानी मुखर्जी is leaving his son. अरे भाई इतना तुम मचा रहा है इस उम्र में,
No,
उसी से
that's not why he's dying.
No,
He's dying because of other issues.
so they set up
मचाना
that
है
he's
इतना
had
सारा.
2 heart attacks.
Yeah.
Obviously, उम्र में थोड़ा वेकेशन करो, आराम करो. ये क्या कर रहे हो तुम?
बराबर है, हार्ट रेट इतना भी ऊपर नहीं जाना चाहिए.
Yeah, he's breaking
तुमको
beds.
अगर
Like,
या
what are
तुमको
you
अगर
doing?
मेहनत करनी पड़ रही है तो you shouldn't do, you're doing it wrong.
But going back to that scene, right, where he enters the room and sees the bed is broken and asks, "Ke, "Pap, ye बिस्तर कैसे टूटा?" And he's like, "सिखाऊंगा, सिखाऊंगा तुमको." In that same scene, then there is an emotional moment where Amitabh is like, "I'm so proud. आज तुम्हारी शादी है, ये वो." And I'm like, how are you making that transition from sexual fiend to like this, oh, loving father, that, oh, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I think this whole idea of Abhishek Bachchan walking in on Amitabh with some girl gets old very fast. I think the film does it some twice or thrice, and every
Yeah.
single time it's more bizarre. And this whole thing where he throws this party, which is then revealed that he's throwing it because that's the day his wife died, or did he meet his wife? One of
Yeah,
the two, right?
I think it's anniversary, death anniversary, I guess, or something like
Yeah.
that.
No, that
So
that was
also
his
why
wife's birthday, or I'm
whatever
not
it is,
sure, or
okay.
the day
Either if it's
the day he
whatever
met her. Yeah.
whatever it is, you should not be sleeping with 100 women on the day
Yeah,
if it was your wife's birthday or your wife
Yeah.
died, because he says, and there's lines like, what do you want them to wear? And he's like, I want them to wear nothing. I'm like, okay, sexy Sam uncle.
but
What's
also
his real name?
he gives a very weird reason for that party also कि मेरी बीवी चाहती थी something something, but that is why I am like spreading my love or something like that. I don't know. He gives very weird reasons for that as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's
Sexy Sam
spreading
को
it in
असली
two
Imagine,
नाम.
ways.
like he made it sound like while dying, his wife held his hand and said, "Honey, the show must go on." That's what he made it sound like. But also, like, I would
Can
like to
either
take you back to Amitabh Bachchan's that expression जब भी वो अभिषेक बच्चन टूटा फूटा बेड देखता है, Abhishek is like, "Damn, what is that?" And Amitabh, without missing a beat, he gives the most glorious, lusty expression in the history of expressions. He does this, okay? ये
audio
क्या कर रहे
listeners,
हो
you're
अंकल
missing out
यार
on
आप?
you're missing out on Urjita impersonating
यार
Amitabh
मैंने
Bachchan.
घर बैठे बैठे अपने कपड़े समेटे यार, ये क्या कर रहे हो अंकल तुम? प्लीज.
No, one a sexy Sam joke that works. I think they are in the bazaar market type situation, and I think Abhishek Bachchan. I think that video also went viral where Abhishek Bachchan asks Amitabh Bachchan ki, "What did you have for breakfast?" And Amitabh Bachchan says, "I don't remember her name."
Oh man.
I think that's one joke that
No.
always works. Yeah.
Do you think it works because it kind of tells you that he went down on her, and that's why that's
Yeah,
a good thing?
but was surprisingly आता है कि there is no setup. He
Yeah.
just says it and goes, and they say, "Yeah, ठीक है,
Mhm.
इतना तक
Yeah.
चलता है."
Yeah.
Another thing that's not aged well for actually Sexy Sam as a character has not aged well, but the whole thing where he meets Kiran Kher and he looks at her ass and is like, "आप चंडीगढ़ से हैं?" I'm like, how is he? How is he? Ass location, I don't know. Okay, but yeah.
And
आप एक मिनट,
Um,
अब्बास अब्बास, क्या आप चंडीगढ़ से हो? क्या आप चंडीगढ़ के हो? नहीं ना, तो आपको
again,
पता नहीं चलेगा. Sexy Sam.
audio listeners, you again missed out on Urjita's lustful expression. Uh, okay, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the individual performances, and we'll get down to Pramit's Twitter thread and what he liked and disliked from the movie. We'll see you right after this.
Hi, this is Cyrus Rogan Brocha, प्यार से Rogues. I've come up with a brand new idea. It's a premium product called Club Cyrus Says. It's an offer open just for you. Let me tell you about the product. We've got exclusive Cock and Bull episodes just for you. That's right, just for you. That means others don't get to see it. Also, you get exclusive footage, extra bits, the uncut version of the interviews with celebrities. And these are huge celebrities, not small-time celebrities. Only the big guys come on the show. So you'll get the exclusive bits that nobody else gets. The extra tidbits, special stuff, uncensored stuff you don't want to put out. That's just for you. And for our audio listeners, you get special ad-free content and early access to interviews and sessions and podcasts which nobody else will get. You'll get it first. You're the first people. You're Neil Armstrong. You're Edmund Hillary. You're whoever discovered India. You're that. And by becoming an exclusive member of Club Cyrus Says, you get the power. We transfer the power to you and you become the producers and you will decide what content or what happens on that show. You are the masters and we are your... We can't use words like that. People who work for the masters, basically. So guys, get in. Special audio features include... I forget. I can't remember. What the hell?
And we're back on Has It Aged Well with Urjita and Pramit. Pramit, you wrote the Twitter thread on Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna, and I just want to point out a couple of things. One thing that stood out to me was you've mentioned that this film has long takes of dialogues, right? As compared to today's films where dialogues are way more snappy and cut in a way where I think because also our attention spans have gone way down. Um, and I was thinking about this. I think Karan Johar is good at filming dialogue scenes because even in Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, the whole "Keh diya na, bas keh diya," where Jaya Bachchan gets her big moment. That scene is also a conversation scene. Anything? Just tell us a little bit about what your thoughts were about that and
Yeah,
how why that hasn't carried on as a tradition in current Hindi films.
yeah. So first of all, I was really surprised कि that scene was going on for around I think 3 to 4 minutes because
Mhm.
and they are capable actors. Shah Rukh Khan and Rani Mukherjee are very capable actors. You can
Right.
extract such a performance, such a और वही है कि एक long take होता है and you get involved in the conversation and you can see them figuring it out because you have this one long take and it was shot on film. So you have to
Right.
nail it. So
Mm.
वही है कि you can see the actual actors in them like you are not
Mm.
just treating them as caricatures तो वो
Yeah.
एक
Right.
बहुत ही impressive चीज था कि in this apparently very promiscuous film you are having this very mature conversation कि जो कि setup कर रहा है कि what they are about to
Correct.
do because
Mm. Mm.
in that whole conversation it is the whole film is almost laid out कि both of them are unsure about their marriages and
Right.
you can understand that कि उन लोग को feel क्या हो रहा है if you cut it up into pieces तो फिर ऐसे भी एक तो वो प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है कि you don't know कि they shot on the same day or not कि वो लोग एक दिन
Correct.
सेट
Yeah.
पे भी दिख नहीं सकते but you are
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
them in that place you can see the whole background foreground जो भी है so and like you said अभी एक तो one takes या long takes चला गया है हो सकता है
Do you
एक्टर्स
think
के
that's
capability
because that? Do you think that's because our attention spans have also gone down? We are too used to Instagram reels and TikToks.
नहीं, एक्टर्स का अटेंशन स्पैन खत्म हो गया है. दे आर टू
yeah
यूज्ड टू इंस्टाग्राम रील्स एंड टिकटॉक्स. उनको
like
डायलॉग लर्न करने नहीं होता है, इसलिए कार्डबोर्ड का जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा प्रोडक्शन बढ़ गया है. उसकी वजह
You
से
know,
किसी को
I don't
डायलॉग
care.
चाहिए.
I don't care if an actor does that. I'm like, just make me believe the lines that you're saying, like Shah Rukh and Rani do.
या
yeah and I
Like
think
not the
कि
way
अभी
Kartik Aaryan does. I don't know if you've watched Satya Prem ki Katha, but the first 20 minutes, which are supposed to be like his character setup, my God, I can actually see him go in and out of frames. वो ऐसा दिख रहा है कि अभी just ये shot के पहले वो इडली वड़ा हाँ पापा मुझे ऐसी लड़की चाहिए उसका वो you shouldn't see that switch no मुझे वो दिख रहा है यार उसके आंखों में दिख रहा है उसके
This is
आंखों में दिख रहा
Urjita's
है ये
biggest
हीरो बन जाएगा
criticism,
अभी
especially for Kartik Aaryan in every episode.
yeah I can
Fucker,
and
I think
have you heard about method acting? Just stay in your fucking character.
नो आई
yeah
आई एंड आई कंप्लीटली अग्री विद ऊर्जा क्योंकि मैंने बहुत सारे ऐसे हिंदी मूवीज और शोज देखे हैं वेयर एवरी एक्टर इज सीमिंगली जस्ट वेटिंग फॉर द क्यूज कि मतलब अच्छा
Correct.
ये सामने वाला एक्टर अभी क्यू देगा अभी मैं कैरेक्टर में आएगा मतलब दे आर नॉट कंसिस्टेंट विद देयर परफॉर्मेंस और
Correct.
यहाँ पे
Correct.
yeah
लेकिन व्हेन यू एंड आई थिंक डिजिटल में जब शूट कर रहे हो आई थिंक इट गिव्स यू मोर फ्रीडम क्योंकि तुम्हारा फिल्म रन
So,
आउट करने का
so
टेंशन
for
नहीं है.
can you just very simply break down the difference between shooting on film and digital? Because I'm like not all of our listeners and viewers might be familiar with it.
मतलब मैं उतना भी नॉलेजेबल नहीं हूँ, बट एज फार एज आई नो कि तुम्हारे पास मतलब जैसे फिल्म पे शूट होता है, सो यू हैव अ फिजिकल प्रिंट जिस पे तुम्हारा फिल्म शूट
Correct.
होगा, सो यू
Correct.
हैव
And
अ
you have a
लिमिटेड
limited
अमाउंट.
stock.
Yeah, you
Correct.
have a
Yeah.
limited stock for a day and it is very expensive. Like पहले
Hmm.
जितना था अभी it is more expensive. So anyone who shoots on film like उसको भगवान माना जाता है, like Christopher Nolan and all that. But
Correct.
अभी वही है कि when you are shooting on digital you have more freedom, क्योंकि तुम्हारा मेमोरी कार्ड जब तक चलेगा तब तक तुम शूट कर सकते हो, और मेमोरी कार्ड्स आर मच मोर चीपर, so you can just replace them.
Correct.
बट अभी फिल्म
Correct.
स्टॉक तुम्हारा खत्म
Correct.
हो जाता था, तो you have to again like license it and बहुत बहुत मुश्किल था.
Hmm.
So yeah, and they were nailing it back then. And abhi digital
Exactly.
pe,
So another thing that really stood out to me was a lot of this film is shot on location. So
yeah.
maybe when they say New York, they might not have shot in New York, but they found similar enough locations to shoot this on. Uh, we are recording on a Monday, and over the weekend, I know Pramit has seen it, but Urjita, did you get a chance to catch Bawal?
I got
Amazing
many
movie.
chances, but I didn't catch it. Let's just say I
So
missed. I very nicely I
very
missed it. I didn't want to watch
Please,
it.
okay. Firstly, Urjita, it's a must watch. Please watch the
It is
film.
a
And
must
I'm
watch,
not
yeah.
even like I'm not even trying to be sarcastic. You have to watch it to believe it. And secondly, so a large chunk of the like about 70% of the film is supposed to be set in Europe, and they do shoot in Europe in certain instances. But you can clearly see all the scenes where they are in either in cars or in boats or traveling or standing and having conversations, that it's clearly green screen and Europe is in the background, like the green screen digital background. And I get that, okay, maybe it was shot during COVID and all of that, but the fakeness of the film you can still make out, right? Where when I was watching this, I was like, dude, everything from the trains to sitting in a park to the songs. I mean, we'll get to the songs. I think they're beautifully shot. As long as they're shooting outdoors, they have made sure that it is America and it looks like America. I was very impressed by that.
No, I was just saying कि बवाल, you were saying VFX जो लास्ट का 5 मिनट में जो ऑशविट्स में होता है वो क्या है, like they were in somewhere, मतलब एक अलग ही realm में चला जाता है वो लोग, कुछ भी हो रहा था उसे. हाँ यार, like now
Yeah,
continue.
to that one guy who DM'd me to do a Has It Aged Well on Bawal, this is the closest you're gonna get.
Oh
Guys,
man.
the genocide might have happened, but the guy's marriage is running out of romance. Quite like Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna. Okay, they found love outside marriage, and Varun Dhawan went to Auschwitz. It's pretty much the same.
Same thing. I wanted to
I
talk
wanna.
about that bench
हाँ,
scene with Rani Mukherjee and Shahrukh Khan. वो तभी मैं point
yeah,
बोलने का time नहीं मिला कि
sure.
I understand that I know what they are trying to say is that Rani Mukherjee is so alone that she's sharing her feelings with a stranger about her
Right.
marriage. But my problem is that it's not any stranger. It's the son
Mhm.
of your wedding caterer. So I mean थोड़ा अगर वो चाहता था तो तेरी शादी तभी के तभी तबाह कर सकता था बाय टेलिंग अभिषेक बच्चन के तेरी बीवा ऐसा बोल रही है बट इट्स लाइक हाउ मतलब तुम इतना कैसे क्या बोलते हो उसको तुम हाउ हाउ इज इट दैट तुम जरा भी इन्वॉल्व नहीं है तेरी शादी में कि तेरे को ये तक नहीं पता तेरा वेडिंग केटरर कौन है क्या चल रहा है वो पूरे जोड़े वोड़े में पार्क बेंच पे बैठी है इट्स and even like that little joke by the way that this joke was also very funny abhishek bachchan says या मुझे डर लग रहा है कहीं वो भाग तो नहीं जाएगी अरे नहीं नहीं ऐसा मत करो बेटा ऐसा मत कहो बेटा हमारी सिक्योरिटी टाइट है
Yeah, yeah.
अभी थोड़ा तो फोर शैडो किया अमिताभ ने
Hmm, that's funny. But I kind of buy that. I mean, when you're in that vulnerable position, I don't think you'll ever think, "Hey, I will see my wedding planner's son ever again in my life." So that's okay. Sorry if
Yeah, I
I'm
think
trying to find logic in your joke.
no, I think she was also like कोई तो आ रहा है जो चेक करने की मैं यहाँ पे बैठी हूँ, like everybody is so
Hmm.
involved in the wedding, and at least this guy,
Correct.
whoever
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
random
Yeah.
guy is, at least he's checking on
Yeah.
me, तो चलो बात कर लेते हैं क्या है.
also like can we talk about the lack of friends in Rani Mukherjee's life
और
Sure, let's talk
अच्छा
about it.
उसमें वो टीचर है ना she's a
Yeah,
Yes.
teacher right
the teacher.
कभी
Yeah,
teaching
yeah,
her
yeah.
I think after the divorce you see her teaching like
Right
before
at the
divorce
end, when she's about to introduce herself with Abhishek's last name,
yeah
and then she realizes, oh no, I don't have that last name anymore. That's the only
Yeah,
time we see her teaching.
yeah. And the
yeah
funny
he
thing
was like
is that while she was trying to like say the last name, I was like, fuck, मैं भी भूल गई क्या last name था इनका. मुझे खुद को याद नहीं आ रहा था. I think that is what
I
also
was about
happened
to
with the
I was
actress.
about to ask both of you without googling. Can you tell me Sexy Sam's real name, like in the movie?
Sameer
No, it's not Samir. It is
Sexeshwar.
it's some no, it's Samarjit Talwar.
okay
Oh,
close Sameer
Yeah, yeah,
Samarji yeah
close enough.
yeah,
Correct. Yes.
yeah. And Kiran Kher is Miss Chandigarh.
By the way, can I just say that for a change, I thought Kiran Kher looked really good in this film, and that's because she wasn't styled like the stereotypical Punjabi mother. No, I mean to say Urjita is
Excuse me?
showing me
Kiran
very
Kher in
very
Devdas.
surprised.
Have you
She,
seen Kiran Kher in
sure, but
Devdas?
that's still saris. That's still saris
She
and Indian
ate
get up
and
and
left
everything.
no crumbs, brother.
By the way, Pramit has done a separate thread on Devdas also, which I think you guys should check out. I saw it after we recorded our episode on Devdas, and I was like, did we shit a lot on the movie for no reason? Because Pramit is pointing out like camera angles and all of that, and like, oh, okay. But I mean to say, Urjita, like the way she's styled, like
Mhm.
she's not Punjabi mother. She's not styled as like for a
Yeah.
change. She's getting to wear like overcoats and
Hmm.
t-shirts or sweaters and stuff like that. So that's what I meant.
Yeah, and also it
Kiran
was
Kher
a
is
very
hot.
cool look. It was a very cool look. Like उसको जब भी आ रही थी बैकग्राउंड में ये बज नहीं रहता चढ़ती जवानी मैनू हाय हाय
Exactly.
वैसा कुछ
Yeah. And considering that we are recording this after our Humtum episode, so you can
yeah.
only imagine in Humtum she was like, yeah, मेरे what was that
also
dialogue Urjita
performance
के yeah यहाँ life और मेरी भी separation हो गई यहाँ life और death का मामला है.
हाँ द डायलॉग वाज कि मैं अभी अपने हस्बैंड से सेपरेटेड हूँ पर हमारा लाइफ और डेथ का मैटर है.
Yeah. Sorry, Pramit, you were saying?
no I was saying that in addition to her costume her performance was also very restrained matlab in comparison to
True.
everything that she has done very restrained
Yeah.
performance
I want to talk about the Preeti Zinta character, which is Ria. Did you guys feel the character was a little one note? Because
Yeah.
this also has to do with the portrayal of the quote unquote working woman in Bollywood, where either she's like only with her work, like only obsessed with her work. That one point, I think, where they win an award or something, and she's like, no, this doesn't mean we celebrate. This means we have to work harder. And then there is this whole thing where oh, she's a working woman, that's why she can't give time to her family. What did you guys think it was one note as compared to the other three?
So it
yeah I
was
think
definitely one. हाँ yeah, you go first.
नहीं नहीं तुम बोलो please
So तो उसका one note तो था character and I feel like the brief that she was given was simply just one line कि you know that your marriage has run its course तो you have to act accordingly. जरा भी प्यार का जरा भी आंख में दिखना नहीं चाहिए तेरे कि तेरे को इससे देव से प्यार नहीं तो मतलब तेरे को इस दुनिया में किसी से भी प्यार नहीं है. You have to show that you are fed up of everything. And I think for the first time I didn't like Preeti Zinta's acting. She
Right.
sounded
Yeah.
like a noob in the whole movie. वो जब उसका
That's true.
dialogue delivery गंदा था. Just everything was
Even I
bad.
thought she was a little robotic in this film because again I was
Yeah.
comparing this to Kal Ho Na Ho, where I think she's really good.
Hmm.
So yeah, as compared to that, I think she was a little robotic. What did you think?
but yeah I agree but वही है कि I don't know if it is a retrospect में जाके वो decision हुआ था कि because in the last few minutes she is like she comes to the realization that मैं present नहीं थी for my marriage or for my son like she wasn't present and now I don't want another man in my life I want to be there for my family and for my
Right.
work
Right.
तो बट वो
Right.
एक वही जो एक एक्सट्रीम में चला जाता है कि लाइक शी इज सो डिस्टेंट फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग कि उसको कोई इमोशन रियलाइजेशन ही नहीं होता है कि उसका बच्चा के साथ क्या हो रहा है उसका हस्बैंड के साथ क्या हो रहा है दैट इज
Hmm.
गॉन टू फार ऐसे लगता है
Hmm. Let's talk about the gender politics of the film. So there is this one stray line I think where Preeti's character says, "Ke if men were working so hard, they would never be questioned. But just because
Yeah.
a woman is, there's all sorts of questions." The other thing, there's this whole thing of the man child where Rishi's character, there is this thing where it's it's implied that he's a man child because because he's playful of some sort, and unless and until he gets really serious, that's when he's become a quote unquote man, right? And Pramit, in your thread also, your big takeaway was that this film actually, a lot of people have perceived this film as pro cheating, whereas you said it's not really pro cheating. It's about people who are unhappy with their marriages. So, in considering this film came out in 2006, from there to now, do you think the portrayal of the man and woman in that relationship stands like, is has it aged well essentially?
So I first of all I don't think कि ये एक भी characters ऐसा मतलब inspirational तो नहीं है, like we shouldn't be taking any
Right,
notes, they are
right.
like cautionary tales है कि ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए.
Pramit,
So
I was
the
taking notes whenever Sexy Sam was on screen. Okay, please.
Yeah, so my big criticism with the Abhishek Bachchan character was that like okay मैं समझ गया तुम मैन चाइल्ड है, तुमको कुछ फिल्टर ही नहीं है, तुम जो मुंह में आता है तुम बोल देता है, like
Hmm.
he randomly says तुम मेरे को बच्चा नहीं दे सकता, and it's like so offensive.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and by the end even he doesn't apologize for that. Like उसको वो बोलता है कि मैं तो मूव ऑन कर गया, मेरे को दूसरी बंदी मिल गई. So that is like a very great Indian kitchen type moment where you see कि the women has to take a decision if they want to move on in by getting into another marriage, but a man
Mhm.
can get anybody. मतलब वो एक
Right.
वैसा टाइप का एक मोमेंट हो जाता है. तो
Hmm.
या सो आई थिंक एक एक टाइप से पता नहीं वो बहुत awkward सा था. He doesn't exactly get a redemption arc, but he doesn't even apologize for what he has been
Correct.
during the marriage. Yes,
Right.
he just wants Rani Mukherjee, Maya for like for sexual reasons. मतलब उसको कुछ connection
Hmm.
चाहिए नहीं, and he gets angry about that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
And
think.
as for the gender thing, that like I said कि gender जो aging का बात है, I think it has become, I think it is really realistic now कि अभी जो gender issues जो चल रहा है,
Hmm.
I think it is very emblematic of exactly that कि no matter how much progressive we seem कि हम लोग का
Right.
आउटवर्ड जो एक जो क्या बोलते हैं, एक लेयर जो रहता है कि वी आर वेरी प्रोग्रेसिव, वी आर गोइंग फॉर मॉडर्न जॉब्स एंड एवरीथिंग, बट अंदर अंदर लाइक वी डोंट एग्री. कैसे कैसे समझाऊं. Like I think that the very aggressive reaction to that was कि हम लोग को दिख गया है हम लोग क्या है, but we have to
Hmm.
keep
Hmm.
this very polished look कि हम लोग
And
बहुत progressive है.
outward, this thing, like a facade sort of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
इसीलिए इतना सालों से this movie has been getting this flag कि like this is not a Indian tradition ये नहीं है, but I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
ये होता रहता है, and no matter
Right.
if we get it is a very regressive thing to say कि ये नहीं होता है. So I think in
Yeah.
that
Right.
sense the movie has aged well कि
Okay.
accurately said कि हम लोग actually क्या है. We have this, ये हम लोग एक संस्कार और ये सब मैंने हम लोग यूज करते हैं, बट अंदर से शायद हम लोग ऐसे ही हैं, लाइक आई गेस.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a
Huh.
very
Huh.
interesting point that you brought up, that maybe like he was also not trying to emotionally understand her. So the thing is, I gave him the benefit of doubt because I thought maybe he must have tried in the past. But I think that's maybe you're right, because I feel like अगर उसने वो try किया रहता to emotionally connect with her, like properly connect with her, then शायद Rani Mukherjee might have also like, she would have fallen for him. But that didn't happen, and that was like very like it was very unbelievable for me कि Abhishek Bachchan इतना romantic husband है, he's doing everything for her, he's just so nice, how could she not fall for him? Because let's be honest, we have all seen cases around us where it looked like arranged marriage है, लड़की is not into the guy, but eventually देख देख के प्यार हो जाता है. हमारे मराठी में ऐसा phrase है कि बगुन बगुन प्रेम होऊन जातं. So
Which literally translates to देखते रहो प्यार हो जाएगा.
प्यार हो जाएगा. Yeah, which is like all of my parents का arranged marriage, dude. What are you saying?
Oh, ouch. Okay.
They both are decent people,
So
very nice
no.
people, but like it's basically that only, right? which is why I found it slightly difficult.
That's your
to
review
believe
of your
that
parents. Yeah, they're decent people.
they're very nice people. They're very, very nice people. But no, that was slightly like unbelievable for me. कि अरे माया को ऐसे कैसे जरा भी प्यार
No,
नहीं हुआ
one
उससे.
second. So, what's the arranged marriage comparison here? You're saying that if arranged marriage may people eventually get along, then why wouldn't you get along if romance is actually present?
Yeah, that was what I was
Um,
thinking. But then again, I know compatibility वगैरह blah blah वो सब ठीक है.
yeah.
But
No,
तू एक
I can believe one person putting more effort in a relationship, and despite that, the other person not getting wooed by it, because like I've seen those relationships. Probably have been in one
अच्छा.
like that. Sorry, TMI.
Sexy Sam.
No, not the sexy. See, sexy Sam's relationships are very transactional. Okay, so there's no
One
room
night.
for
So,
एक
one
but
रात
night.
again,
में
Yeah,
to
yeah.
prove your theory, Pramit, and to also prove my new theory, which I have adopted after listening to your views, there is
Yeah.
that one
So,
brilliant scene जिसमें
Oppenheimer
बताया हुआ
देख के आइए तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि सब चीज प्रूव करना पड़ेगा और
है.
जितना
नहीं तो there's that one scene जिसमें the introduction scene of Rani Mukherjee and Abhishek जिसमें वो सफाई कर रही होती है and Rani Mukherjee genuinely like there's that one scene जिसमें वो try भी कर रही है to tell him about her issues and he starts the vacuum cleaner and he refuses to listen. So then
Yeah.
I feel like maybe okay, this is the problem. He never tried to understand her. I think like that could be like a problem too.
Also, it is
Because
Okay.
like
like it becomes a commentary on like arranged marriages as well ना, क्योंकि तुमको ये सब kinks अगर जो भी है problems issues तुम्हारा compatibility issues वो शादी के पहले तुम लोग solve कर लो, because when you are doing it
Hmm.
through the marriage obviously ऐसा लगेगा कि एक टाइम बॉम्ब लगा हुआ है कि क्योंकि अभिषेक बच्चन होल इशू इज कि उसको बच्चा चाहिए, सो ही इज लाइक मेरा उम्र बढ़ रहा है एंड लाइक इट इज अ टाइम बॉम्ब इशू.
No,
So
that's not the issue
Right.
कि उसको बच्चा चाहिए. In fact, वो बोलता भी है कि you know that has never been my
yeah,
issue. His issue is that
but
romance नहीं है.
no, but that तो वो लेटर जब उसको समझ में आ जाता है कि अभी ये मेरे हाथ से जा रही है, that's when he realizes कि अच्छा like I shouldn't have made that an issue, like because in the first argument he explicitly says कि this और उसके ऊपर से तुम मेरे को बच्चा नहीं दे सकता, like that's
He
what
does because I
I
don't
think
remember him saying
but
that.
that's the point, that maybe in early on in the film they've tried to set up that, oh, it doesn't matter to him,
Hmm.
but then when it actually gets down and dirty, he's willing to
Hmm.
bring that up as an insult when he really wants to
अच्छा
hurt
okay.
Rani.
Yeah.
And I think Rani not having like the Shahrukh's reason for being so grumpy is that he can't play football anymore. I think so they needed to give one crutch to Rani as well, and hers is that she
Hmm.
can't have children, I feel like. So there is
But
that
also
one aspect in. Yeah, go ahead.
I wonder, I kept wondering through the movie क्योंकि वो लोग ऐसे दिखाते भी exactly कुछ ऐसा underscore नहीं करते, like why are Rani and Shahrukh so compatible in the movie? Like what do they, like they have good conversations, but even by the
But that's what
end
I was getting to. That's what I was
yeah,
getting to. That Shahrukh's feeling an emptiness in his life because he can't do the one thing he loved really, which is play sport, and Rani. Uh, Even like the one thing she could have given to Abhishek, like to whatever mend their marriage or whatever, that can't happen. And again, both the shortcomings are very gendered. The guy can't play sport and the woman can't have a child. But I thought that was the thing, that they fill each this emptiness that both of them have with each other.
I'll
So
tell
yeah.
you exactly क्या होता है. Shahrukh likes the fact that she's so sporty about the fact that he's a man child. So that's like a great marriage.
Well done, nice.
रानी को बच्चा
Uh,
चाहिए था और शाहरुख खान है मैन चाइल्ड मिल गया.
Okay, cool. At this point, we'll take a short break. When we come back, there's a little bit of trivia I want to tell you about the film, and then we'll do the rating scale and the alternate endings. We'll see you right after this.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IBM Podcast Network. A huge thanks to all Bollywood enthusiasts for helping us reach 10,000 subscribers on the IBM Pop YouTube channel. For more such awesome Bollywood experiences, do hit the subscribe button and be a part of this incredible journey along with us. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus is joined by Amit Doshi and myself, Antariksh Thakkar. We discuss about Twitter's rebranding to X, the Supreme Court slamming the Delhi government for heavy advertising spends, and Kim Jong-un's brand new absurd rule regarding suicides. Do tune in. On Has It Aged Well, Abbas and Urjita discuss the comic caper Delhi Belly with returning guest Karan Meerchandani riding high on his recently acquired influencer status. They discuss the use of English in the film and why we didn't get more films like this. Is this an authentic Delhi movie? What about the music and more? Let's find out. Folks, if you like our shows, spread the word, tell your friends, and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life. Thank you for making this possible.
And we're back on Has It Aged Well with our guest Pramit and my co-host Urjita. So, guys, while watching the film yesterday, there's this one thing, one scene, or one shot that I saw, and I was very interested, and I wanted to know your opinion, both you and both Pramit and Urjita, whether you think this is a conscious decision or it was just something that was available on set. Okay, so I'm about to share a little screenshot that I took. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so what's
Oh.
on the screen is essentially Rani Mukherjee and Shah Rukh Khan drinking coffee in a cafe. Rani has a very rounded sort of small cup, and Shah Rukh Khan has this elongated cup which can hold a lot of coffee. Do you guys think they're trying to tell us something about the characters, or were these just the props that were available on set that day?
Even if they were trying to, let's explore this possibility.
Yeah.
Even if they
So
were trying to.
my take is that Rani's it's like Shah Rukh's cup is way bigger and longer. So because he's grumpy, he drinks a lot more coffee to get him through the day, and he just wants to gulp it down. And Rani's like
Oh.
has a like nice normal sized cup, and I'm assuming there's tea in that. So she's like the more. Also, Shah Rukh's cup is more angular with hard edges, and Rani's cup is rounder. So essentially, he's the more sort of straight edge grumpy guy, and she's the more welcoming sort of flexible rounded person. Thank you for coming to my TED talk.
I like how this movie is so perfect that even in this one screen grab, you can tell what their personalities are. Shah Rukh
Yeah.
Khan hasn't left his personality even once. पूरा
Pramit,
time
what's
भाई
your take?
proud.
No, I think ये जो भी सेट पे था वही यूज हो रहा है बट या यू कैन देखो एक तो चीज है कि एनीथिंग दैट इज इन दिस मूवी इफ यू सी एन इंटरप्रिटेशन इट एग्जिस्ट्स ये तो
Yeah.
है
Correct.
सो इफ यू
Yeah,
सी
yeah,
सम मीनिंग इन इट हैज मीनिंग
because
And
you know
I
what?
had
So
heard, I
this
don't
this
remember
scene.
who, but I remember like reading this. I don't remember where I have read this, but apparently there's this like thing about like magic and realism where if you are
Hmm.
really like involved with your product, so things just align. And automatically like you said, even in this scene, maybe उनको शायद वैसे cups मिल गए होंगे. And
True,
उन्होंने सोचा
exactly.
भी नहीं होगा, but because you are
Hmm.
so invested in the product that you saw some meaning in them. So को हो सकता है, I don't know.
The reason I brought this up is because this shot happens a couple of scenes before the song "Tum Hi Dekho Na," and then I think just before that song, there's that montage where they are sitting in cafes and drinking tea and coffee, and then in those montages, they both have the same cup. So I'm like, is this conscious? They both have the
Okay, so-
small rounded cup which Rani is holding. So I was like, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe
Like
maybe
if you take all this in consideration, then even तुम ही देखो ना the song, it is trying to say that तुम ही देखो ना मेरे feelings को, ये क्या हो गया?
मेरे
कब
cup
से
को देखो.
थे? Yeah.
Which I think that song is beautifully shot. I think Karan Johar is great at shooting songs.
Yeah.
Even Suraj Hua Madham is extremely well shot. Pramit, you've also mentioned the music and the songs of the film in your thread. What did you think of them?
Yeah, I thought the songs, like I said, एक तो वो है nostalgia है क्योंकि I've grown up watching those songs. But तभी वो appreciation नहीं था कि like how they're shot. Like for the first time, I think in last 10 साल में पहली बार शायद मुझे realize हुआ कि those background dancers are in the same color for each of the shots.
Correct.
Like
Yeah.
जब वो like they say कि you like blue, I like blue या ऐसा type का कुछ, and you see all the background actors are in blue clothes. फिर when they go for the next shot, they are all in red. एक shot है जो वो bean पे, एक जो reflective bean पे जब shot होता है, तो वहां पे आई थिंक दे आर इन ब्लैक एंड येलो, एंड वो लोग जो येलो कैब्स होता है, दे आर सर्कलिंग देम. तो मुझे वो
Correct.
रैंडम
Yeah.
नहीं है, they're doing it very
Yeah. Yeah.
purposefully. And
Correct.
they're very imaginative, and like you said, it is all practically shot. Like वो लोग कुछ CGI VFX कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. They're all doing it very practically in camera, and it looks amazing.
Really looks good. Some trivia. So Shahrukh and Preeti's son is played by the actress Ehsas Channa. It's not a boy, it's a girl. Ehsas Channa is an actress in her own right now. Ayal Mukherjee has a walk-on part in the song Tum Hi Dekho Na in the green section when they're
Yes.
dancing. There's this one scene where he
Yes.
walks by with a bag. Karan Johar has a very small cameo at the climax of the film where Rani is finding Shahrukh in the train. And Karan is in the background having coffee. Which again, by the way, the climax of Rani going to Shahrukh to search him out in a train, I think was almost like the again maybe a comment subtle dig at the DDLJ ending where
Yeah, yeah.
Raj essentially outstretches his hand for that. Um,
You
the
know,
Barat
but which
is
movie did it
Hmm.
better? You know which movie
Which
did
one?
it better? ये train station पे मिलना. Can you, Pramit? Can you guess? Can you, Abbas? Can
Is
Chennai
you
it is
guess?
it
Express.
that
No,
is
no,
it the
no, no, no.
same? Is it the same movie where Arjun Apal is grumpy?
No.
हमारा दिल आपके पास है नहीं. I don't know.
No. No.
Then
Metro.
which one?
तुम क्या ना एक्चुअल रेलवे स्टेशन पे आती है इरफान खान को ढूंढने उसको
Oh
भी मिल नहीं
yes.
रहा है. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen
And
Life in
then
a Metro in a long time. I should revisit it.
अच्छा, okay. Yeah. So ultimately,
The
she finds
Barat.
him in his barat, but still she's looking for him everywhere. So that was really nice.
Okay. हाँ, the
Yeah.
Barat scene I remember. That's very funny.
Yeah.
Irfan is like, "Okay, अभी तो
Yeah.
काफी खर्चा हो गया."
Yeah. इरफान is like कि तुमको मुझसे शादी करने है, अरे पर ब्रा और पेटीकोट तो उसके साइज का बन गया है.
The Bharat in the beginning in the Abhishek Rani marriage is playing Leja Leja from Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. So again, in universe synchronicity with Kejo films. You guys want to talk about the bondage shop scene and Rani Mukherjee showing up in bondage gear?
वही वही यही मेरा पॉइंट है कि दे जस्ट गो टू फार कि मतलब एक like even before that point we don't see that her character is that invested in making Abhishek Bachchan like her, but then all of a sudden she's like पूरा bondage एकदम whip लेके आती है and she's what she's saying.
He's been a
He's
bad
like,
boy, Pramit.
it is so over the top that even Amitabh Bachchan is shocked कि मतलब that is also too much for him.
True.
बेटा समझ
Yeah.
जाओ.
But also like in that sex scene जिसमें Rani Mukherjee और Abhishek Bachchan they are sleeping with each other, तो उसमें भी मुझे वो I don't know if it was, of course it was intentional, but वो little detail मुझे बहुत बढ़िया लगी कि Abhishek Bachchan mid sex he realizes that she is not into it. And he gets mad. So it means he was checking if you are into it. ऐसा नहीं कि अपना भाई साहब करके चला गया USB डाल के. उसका वैसा नहीं था.
Okay, Urjita. I don't know what kind of men you have experienced, but sure. we always check with the USB port first, Urjita.
No, and this is in comparison to other movies like वो Great Indian Kitchen में भी था. So like he's not that kind of a guy.
Got it.
No, और एक और क्वेश्चन जो मेरा ट्विटर थ्रेड में बहुत बार आया है दैट इज रानी और शाहरुख जब सेक्स कर रहे थे वो रो क्यों रहे थे?
So I have a take on this. Thank you for bringing this up. I was about to, but I'm so glad you did, Pramit. So I think there is one drop of tear you see, right, going down Rani's cheek, right, near her eyes. I think that is emblematic that she has had orgasm for the first time in her life. What do you have to say about that? That all the emotions, all the pent up frustration, and all the longing that she's had, it all comes down in that one tear.
Yeah.
And also
do you
this
think
film
it was important to show that they had sex? Like I feel like they at some point realized that sex दिखाना था, but then कैसे दिखाए बिना guilt के? तो and the thing is they are having sex with their rings on. Like usually like निकालने होते हैं ना if you're cheating, ये मैंने सुना है.
And that tear also has guilt as well in it. Because they are not really happy about it, but
ऐसा नहीं कि oh my god, yeah, come come on yeah ऐसा ऐसा नहीं हो रहा उनका गलती ये नहीं हो रही है they're like oh my god come on yeah दोनों लिफ्ट में जा रहे हैं ऐसे ऊपर ऊपर लिफ्ट जा रही है लिफ्ट में भी मेकआउट नहीं कर रहे हैं वो
नहीं
so it means this was like a very very conscious decision it was not a hormone crazy हो गया नहीं नहीं ऐसा
I'm
नहीं
telling
है
you, there's more to this film than we can read, right from the cups to the orgasms, everything.
yeah
Uh,
from the
another
makers of
reference.
Two Girls One Cup we have one couple
Okay,
two cups
okay, Urjita, let's just move on. Okay. Even sexy Sam will be scandalized by that. There's that one scene where Shah Rukh's kid watches another kid, and Tujhe Dekha starts playing in the background. So that's another little reference there.
and the fact that it was Ehsas as a girl and she is looking at another
I
girl
know,
I
yes.
feel like that's a queer message that's a secretly queer message
That's the weirdest thing, because again when it's brought up that his son wants to learn the violin, Shahrukh says ke aur kya frog pehna bhi shuru kar dega. I'm like हाँ वो लड़की है वो frog ही पहनेगी.
But yeah, there is also a
So,
nice
yeah.
transition कि वो by the end वो बोलता है कि तुमको फुटबॉल भी नहीं खेलना है, तुमको वायलिन भी नहीं बजाना है, but like whatever you want to do, तुम वही करो. We are going to make some Manchester United group and something like that. We should play
Yeah,
music. So,
Manchester
yeah,
United
Yeah.
Philharmonic.
film on yeah.
Yeah,
There's nice transition.
That joke where which Urjita also posted about on her Instagram, where they are going to look for beds in a furniture shop, and they start acting out, and there's a guy who's just overhearing him, and then he just says, "I'll take this bed." It was very reminiscent of the orgasm scene from When Harry Met Sally, where she says, "I'll have what she's having." I thought Karan Johar literally used that trope and put it here.
Also, one thing I just realized कि
Yeah.
डियर जिंदगी में शाहरुख खान बोलते हैं ना कि आपको फर्नीचर चेयर्स ट्राई करना चाहिए बिफोर यूजिंग वन. सो या
Acha. Oh. He went back in time and plugged this scene just so that
Yes.
Dear Zindagi could have one deep meaning in it.
We
I
spoke
thought, in
about
fact, you know
the
what? You know what's funny? When I watched that Dear Zindagi scene, I thought of another Shah Rukh Khan movie.
which one?
Badshah, जिसमें अखरोट फेंक के मार रहा है.
Okay.
I thought ये उसका reference है.
We spoke about the conversation scenes being long and meaningful. The story goes that Karan Johar was influenced to make this film. At least the seed of the idea came when he was watching Before Sunset, which is a film starring Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy. And that film is literally just one conversation over 1.5 hours. So that is one thing.
Before sunset. And after sunset. Sexy Sam, sexy Sam.
Casting what ifs, Kajol was supposed to play the Rani Mukherjee part initially, and Rani Mukherjee was supposed to play the Preeti Zinta part. I think I would have liked Kajol in this part, in the Maya part. What do you guys think?
I think Rani Mukherjee's casting was done because everybody kept saying कि रानी मुखर्जी कभी शाहरुख खान के साथ मतलब उसका रिलेशनशिप नहीं बनता था ना कोई भी मूवी में लाइक
Oh, really?
दिल तो पागल है
हाँ.
या दिल तो पागल है कभी खुशी कभी गम. So people were like अरे इसको कुछ तो दो. Every time she's either dying or she's going away. तो अभी लो अभी ऐसे मिलना है तो ऐसे मिलेगा अभी चीटिंग करके.
I don't think Dil To Pagal had Rani Mukherjee. I think you mean another film.
Yeah, it's कुछ कुछ होता है and कभी खुशी कभी गम.
Correct. Yeah, kuch hota hai. I don't want to go there. There's this one thing where I said in kuch hota hai they have sex on the bed, and then everybody on Twitter corrected me. No, they don't. They don't have sex in the hospital. I don't know why in my head I thought that Rahul has sex with Rani Mukherjee in the hospital, and that's where Anjali is conceived. But anyway, I might be wrong. Urjita, you were saying something.
अंजलि मरते मरते क्यों कंसीव करेगी यार
I don't know.
ऑक्टोपस है क्या
I don't know why. For some reason, I don't know. Like you said, Mandela effect. वही कुछ है. मेरे को लग रहा है मैंने पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा कोई एक वर्जन देखा पिक्चर का where Rahul goes lies on top of Tina.
मैंडेला इफेक्ट तब होता है जब सबको होता है. For you, this is maybe schizophrenia.
This is delusion और कुछ नहीं था.
This is delusion, yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know. You were saying something.
But no, I was saying that I feel like Kajol could have done a better job, much better job than Rani, because she is very good at convincing you that एक तो लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम है बट ऑल्सो लाइक आई एम पावरिंग थ्रू. सो एंड आई थिंक दैट उसका एग्जाम्पल हमको दिखाई देता है माय नेम इज खान में. लाइक इन दैट मूवी ऑल्सो लाइक शी इज सपोज टू बी लाइक इन सच अ मतलब कितने सारे प्रॉब्लम्स उसके लाइफ में बट फिर भी शी हैज मैनेज टू लाइक यू नो have that spunky character despite that. So I feel like Kajol could have done a better job.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you guys want to add, Pramit and Urjita, before we go to the rating scale?
नहीं, एक तो
I
वो सैफ अली खान was supposed to play the Abhishek Bachchan character. I think it was in the
Oh,
trivia
really?
section for Prime Video. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I saw
Okay.
that for a second. Yeah,
Mhm.
and
yeah.
वही शाहरुख सैफ because they did it in Kal Ho Na Ho.
Kal Ho Na Ho. Yeah, correct.
अगर सैफ ये
Then it
पार्ट
would
प्ले
be
करता तो फिर then this movie would have been रहना है तेरे दिल में सीक्रेट सीक्वल. If Diya Mirza
yeah.
if Diya Mirza actually married him, then this is what the future would look like.
Hmm. Anything else you want to
I
add,
had
Urjita?
2 points. I had 2 points. So in that scene in which Rani Mukherjee gets hit on her head, वो नहीं क्या
Ball.
वो जब भी बच्चा चुरा के जा रही होती है एहसास
Ball.
चन्ना को, तो
Right.
उसके सर पे वो मारता है शाहरुख खान. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाई शी फेल इन लव विद हिम आफ्टर दैट, क्योंकि सर का वायरिंग खराब हो गया ना. तो
Okay.
she gets hit on her head and in the hospital that injury magically gets transferred to her leg. I don't know how that happened.
गिरते वक्त पैर पे
Okay, I
मोच
have
आ गया
a
उनका.
Yeah. And
I have a take
but
about. Go ahead.
हाँ, no, that take ये अलग point बोल रही थी
No,
मैं.
I had a take that all the white actors in this film are terrible. That one lady who's doing the commentary at the soccer match for the kids, she says a line. She's like, whatever, she introduces the team, and she's like, and they're coached by George Push with a lovely tush. I'm like, no, please don't do this.
I think they all were
And
mad because Yash Chopra didn't cast Tom Cruise in DDLJ.
that's true. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know why Karan Johar has this knack of casting really bad white actors.
नहीं, वो
Even in
रिवेंज ले रहा है
Dostana,
ना. वो रिवेंज लेता है कि इतने सालों से फिरंग लोग हम लोग को ऐसे
हाँ.
स्टीरियोटाइप और इतना गंदा टाइप से दिखाया है. सो ही इज टेकिंग रिवेंज. मोर
Yeah,
पावर
I
टू
think
हिम.
Tom, and also I think Tom Cruise said no to DDLJ because that movie is actually Mission Possible.
Purjita, what's
Sorry.
harder, jumping off of a building or getting Amrish Puri to agree to give his daughter to you?
I think running behind a train in a Ghagra. That's way more difficult.
That's true. Yeah. Well done. Nice.
Yeah. But I
Okay.
had another joke. मुझे ये
हाँ.
joke बहुत पसंद आया था कि वो शाहरुख खान, and I feel like that was an impromptu thing that शाहरुख खान did. वो बोलता है ना कि पता नहीं बच्चे पैदा क्यों होते हैं, आदमी full size ही क्यों नहीं पैदा होता है. I
But
don't
he's
remember
mean
where he
to
says it. But
he's mean to kids a lot in this movie. Like it was
Yeah.
borderline abusive.
There's that kid that comes and sits in the bench एकदम opening shot में, like after the time jump, and he's like
Yeah,
कहीं
yeah.
और जाके बैठो, and he's very angry, but then at the end his father comes and hugs him.
He hugs him. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's this one point where so I forgot how much of the first half of the film is just like little gags. Like there's the one where they both get mixed up about they think the kid is Abhishek Bachchan and they think that the call girl is Preeti Zinta. And in that scene, when Shahrukh comes to the house, both Rani and Kiran Kher ask him, "How was your day?" And he just spits out the chewing gum at them. I'm like, what the fuck was this? Like, I get it, you're rude. You don't need to spit out chewing gum. Actually, the chewing gum on the whole irritated me a lot in this movie. I'm like, ठीक है यार. If he's bad, you don't
हमेशा
need to
वो,
give him chewing
yeah,
gum
he
all
keeps
the time.
stinging it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
bad.
Also,
Okay,
there's a
guys,
very
we have
tense
a
moment. There's a very tense
Yeah, go
moment in
ahead.
the traffic wala scene where
Yeah.
that is a really tense moment. Like I was losing it कि उसको ये रानी मुखर्जी पीछे है and प्रीति जिंटा सामने है and he's holding the flowers and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
at the
yeah.
last moment, like it's also choice कि उसको क्या choose करेगा अभी, वो इसको choose करेगा. Yeah, it's very tense.
But I didn't
Yeah.
buy the resolution to that where I mean, Preeti doesn't even notice that Maya is walking right next to her. I don't know.
Yeah, वही है कि वो प्रीति जिंटा doesn't notice, like वही शायद point है कि
Yeah.
She's a focused girl ना, करियर पे फोकस करे, एक टाइम पे एक ही चीज पे फोकस कर सकती है.
Yeah, that explains it.
So unidimensional,
Okay,
no,
what?
that's why.
What's aged the best and what's aged the worst according to you guys? Urjita, you want to go first?
I think what's age the best is actually no, Pramit, you go first. मुझे time लगेगा सोचने में.
Age the worst, I think it's obvious. Sexy Sammy तो मतलब obvious है.
True.
But I
Yeah.
think age the best is like the overall portrayal of the human nature कि मतलब क्या एक जो complexity होता है, like I think we are losing it in movies कि मतलब बहुत simplified
Hmm.
तरीके से सब कुछ एकदम और वही हो जाता है कि everybody thinks that the filmmakers think कि हम लोग को audience का morality के हिसाब से movie बनाना है ना कि जो actual है. And I think that aspect has aged the best.
Okay. Urjita, for
Yeah.
you?
I like how Pramit couldn't think of a single scene. That's why he's like, actually, guys, emotion. लेयर केक में जो लेयर रहता ना पाइनएप्पल वाला that has aged the best. But no, what has aged the worst? I think ऐसे तो यार I've stopped noticing the sexism and all in these movies now.
Sure.
क्योंकि वो तो मतलब होता ही है हर मूवी में, तो I would not like to comment on that. Fat shaming and all वो सब की तो बात ही नहीं हो रही है. But Sexy Sam I think has aged the worst. But also like I love the fact that उन्होंने दिखाया कि वो call girls है. So that I really like. But I think something that has aged the best. I also have a similar answer. I feel like I think the
Wow,
fact
after
that they
giving him so
genuinely
much grief, you're like, हाँ मेरा आंसर भी same ही है.
no, the fact that they both genuinely get together without any fuss and they are not made to feel bad about it.
Without any fuss, there is a lot of
Without
fuss.
any fuss, no, as in the end they are not shown कि अलग अलग हो जाते हैं. नहीं, वो
So
अलग
yeah,
होते हैं
I
3
think
साल के लिए.
the closing
And
voiceover that Shahrukh gives, that like I'm glad that we got together, but I wish we didn't have to break so many hearts to get there. I think that was
yeah,
it's almost like
right.
a very unbelievably mature take for a Karan Johar film.
And I kept saying that in my Twitter thread as well कि तुम लोग लास्ट वाला लाइन सुना नहीं है क्या? Like he doesn't
हाँ.
wish कि exactly ऐसा ही होना चाहिए था. He is saying that I regret that we met this way. अगर पहले कोई और तरीके से मिलते तो it would have been better.
Yeah.
True.
And also I would like to, I just thought of something. I think the reason why people didn't like the fact that Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna में cheating दिखाया है, even though there were other movies जिसमें cheating बहुत खुला सीधा फाड़ के दिखा रहे थे, मस्ती. I don't remember if it was
Yeah, there was
among
also
the
no entry also was kind of based
yeah.
around that.
I think they
BB
had a
number
problem
one.
because in this movie the woman was also cheating. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Because until the men are cheating, everything is fine. क्योंकि मर्द तो येड़ा है, वो तो कभी ना कभी
Men
वापस
will be
आएगा.
men, guys. Yeah.
ये औरत भी cheat करे, क्या बात कर रहे हो? I think that was the problem.
Okay. For me, what says the best, I think the song "Tum Hi Dekho Na," the picturization, I think is beautiful. I think it even today all the visuals hold up. What's aged the worst, I think. Sorry, my bottle just fell down. I
So
had to collect it.
you,
What's What's aged the worst? I think there's a lot of butt slapping in this movie. Male, like men are slapping a lot of butts to the on the women, which I think has not aged well at all. So yeah, those would be my two things. Let's go to the has it aged well scale. Pramit, on the has it aged well scale of 1 to 10, 1 being it was a product of its time, has not aged well and seems ancient, 10 being you discover something new every time you watch it. How much would you rate Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna?
I think I'll rate it 8 out of 10.
8 out
Because
of 10.
age,
That's pretty high.
yeah.
Okay. You were saying something. It has aged?
Yeah, no, I think it has aged really well. Apart from the obvious things that hasn't, but I think the pros are better than the cons. Like वो थोड़ा overweight कर जाता है. So I think I regard it as a good film now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Urjita, what about you?
I
On a
think
scale of 1 to
7.
10?
7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'd give it a 6.5.
Knew it.
Like I know it's very mature, and I like the fact that he's given the ending where, unlike his previous films, everybody is happy and everybody ends with a big dance number. I think this is pretty good, but yeah, some things on the whole little cringe. But yeah, that was our as it age will scale. Let's do the alternate ending segment right now. All right, so this is the alternate ending segment where we give another ending to the film that we have discussed, or we pitch a sequel to this film. So, Pramit, let's say if Karan Johar comes to you and is like, "Hey, I'm reissuing the film in high definition, remastering it, but I'm not happy with the ending. Please write an ending for me." What's an alternate ending you would give to Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna?
I think I will just give the people what they want, because the people keep saying कि सब कोई अगर डिस्कस करके मतलब चीट नहीं करते बट डिस्कस करके सब कुछ खत्म कर लेते, तो आई वुड जस्ट मेक इट अ 1 hour लॉन्ग 12 एंग्री मैन टाइप डिस्कशन, जहाँ पे 4 लोग बैठ के सिर्फ बात करें कि हम लोग क्यों कंपैटिबल नहीं है वही बस. आई थिंक इट विल नो विजुअल्स,
Actually,
बस एक रूम में रहेगा.
there is that dinner table scene, right, where
Yeah.
even Kiran Amitabh are sitting, where he actually confesses that he's in love, but then he's
Yeah.
like he was trying to joke, and then I love that scene where Amitabh is like, "Good joke, good joke."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that
okay,
was very
uncle
nice.
समझ गए.
Yeah.
और सीक्वल तो नहीं होगा, बिकॉज सीक्वल विल बी वेरी डिप्रेसिंग, क्योंकि लाइक किसके पर्सपेक्टिव से दिखाओगे, वो बच्चे के पर्सपेक्टिव से दिखाओगे, मतलब
I
हाउ
was
इज
thinking,
सीक्वल
I
हो
was like, what
सकता
do
है
you
सेक्सी
argue?
सैम, लाइक हाउ डिड सेक्सी
Oh
सैम दी
yeah,
ओरिजिन्स
spin-off.
विद अभिषेक बच्चन,
Hmm.
बस वहाँ
Hmm.
वो एक
Nice.
हो सकता है. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I would
Sequel,
see
I
that.
feel so. I feel like in the movie also, many people have this opinion that देव इतना ज्यादा अनलाइकेबल कैरेक्टर है कि माया और देव का शादी भी 1 साल के ऊपर टिक नहीं पाएगा. बट आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स ट्रू. आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स ट्रू बिकॉज माया और देव वो दोनों गरीब है. तो कैसा होता है ना कि जब तुम लाइफ में गरीब हो तो कंपैटिबिलिटी इश्यूज का प्रॉब्लम खिड़की से बाहर चला जाता है. दे आर सो
Hmm.
पुअर ट्राइंग टू लाइक एक्चुअली मीट देयर एक्सपेंसेस कि उनको टाइम ही नहीं मिल रहा है कंपैटिबिलिटी चेक करने का. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाई देयर
Yeah,
मैरिज वुड लास्ट लॉन्ग.
तो यू आर सेइंग इट
he's
इज
a
चलते
football.
चलते basically.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. um all right, for me, I have an alternate end. I have a sequel slash prequel idea, actually. So same movie, but the central character is Sexy Sam. So Sexy Sam is running a business and he gets me too, guys. They're like, this ये जो आदमी है, इसके जो मतलब he's all his fancies and all, इसके सारे जो शौक है, he's bringing it all at the workplace. Okay, so now
Oh.
Abhishek has to deal with with he basically he runs a PR firm in the film. So now
Right.
he, as a public relations person, he's like, how do I give it a spin where I make Sexy Sam, well, I salvage Sexy Sam, I say. Essentially, it's the Harvey Weinstein story starring Sexy Sam.
Yo, this could be a little close to reality. So,
Yeah, but that's my idea.
of someone else. I'm not saying, guys. I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't.
you're not naming any names. You're just saying maybe
Yeah.
somewhere out there. Okay, cool. I think we all three of us had pretty cool alternate endings. One last thing I want to do before we wrap up. If you were to program a double feature with Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna and another film, what film would you program, Pramit?
क्या आई हैव ऑलरेडी सजेस्टेड ट्रिपल फीचर भी कर सकते हो. कभी अलविदा ना कहना, द फैंटम थ्रेड और मैरिज
हाँ.
स्टोरी.
Oh, okay, nice. All right. I mean, surprisingly, Phantom Thread and Marriage Story का run time मिला के भी, I think Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna जितना नहीं होगा, because the movie is 3 hours 11 minutes long. Urjita, what about you? If you were to program a double feature with Kabhi Alvida Naa Kehna?
I think I know, like, it doesn't sound like if you like this, then you might also like this. But I feel Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, because it's like
Oh, okay.
you get to like appreciate because it's like इसमें पूरा ये alternate universe है दोनों का. So I feel like that's why it would make sense.
मल्टीवर्स ऑफ संस्कार.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would, and Karan Johar was actually accused of remaking this film when it came out, but I would program it with Silsila, the Yash Chopra film starring Rakhi, Amitabh Bachchan, Shashi Kapoor, and Rekha. I think both of them make a pretty good double feature.
Yeah.
Or I would program it with Bawaal. One of the two. Okay.
Okay, sorry. I have another question. Okay, I have another question to ask you guys. So if this movie was a blockbuster hit, Bahubali type blockbuster hit, इतना मतलब भाई 50,000 crore कमा लिए. So of course, the one change that we would see, our industry, our movies would have looked different. Like it is
Right.
like this movie would be like the actual representation of time traveler moves a chair. क्योंकि इस मूवी अगर ये सुपर हिट जाती तो काफी अलग हमको सीन्स देखने मिलते. तो अलग अलग ऑफ कोर्स चीटिंग वगैरह पे मूवीज वगैरह बनते, यू नो, अच्छे मच्योर वे में वो सब्जेक्ट्स एक्सप्लोर करते. सो डू यू थिंक दैट वुड हैव आल्सो इन्फ्लुएंस्ड the way celebrities handle their relationships and open marriages?
Simple answer would be no, I think, because I don't know. See, so if you remember Om Shanti Om mein, in the 70s wala section, um, Shanti Priya, her name is, right, in the movie.
Yeah.
She gets married to the producer, but they have to keep it a secret, right? So back then, pregnancies, marriage, all of this was kept super secret. So I think from there till now, at least we are at a point where stars at least announce their pregnancies, and the marriages are like, firstly, you can't keep it secret now because they are always under the scanner. But open relationships and infidelity and all of this, I think again we are way behind with that. I mean, without naming names and giving like a particular example. I mean, look at what happened with Riya Chakrabarti, right? So we
Yeah.
still have that mentality ke अरे औरत करेगी तो we'll have to hound her, she'll get hounded rather, and yeah, so I don't think like एक उस rethinking के लिए एक picture काफी नहीं है. Like you need a way bigger reform
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. No, as in I'm saying भाई काफी अगर movies ऐसे आती तो maybe like
हाँ, yeah,
slightly.
like she's saying कि अगर ये hit हो जाता and there would have been a series of films that would have completely changed society's thinking about relationships, और मतलब क्योंकि अभी भी जो चल रहा है that is like again traditionalism repackaged as modern values, क्योंकि हम लोग अभी बेबी रिलीज कर रहे हैं और वेडिंग पिक्चर्स जो रिलीज कर रहे हैं, that is very heteronormative, जो पहले से ही होते रहा है, that is like on a very magnanimous scale. But yeah, I think on some level अगर ये movie accepted होती and there would have been a shift in storytelling कुछ, क्योंकि I won't completely discount the fact that movies don't impact how society functions, because it
Yeah.
does. But हाँ, मतलब obviously there would have to be a massive number of movies and a very mature storytelling to completely change how we think about relationships and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like if not like accept infidelity in our lives, I think
No,
we
no,
would be
yeah.
accepting अगर कि अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है अगर ये करे celebrities करे तो उनका scene है. Maybe शायद I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe. I'm
Like
just like trying.
it's
I
very
don't know.
surprising that the movie doesn't end with violence. Like the husbands don't go to punches or the wives don't
True,
go
that's
to
true.
hair
Yeah.
pulling or something like that. Yeah, so
Correct.
it's a very
Yeah,
mature कि कोई मारपीट नहीं
that's
होता है.
true.
They like Abhishek Bachchan says that do they know that we have divorced and we have
Correct.
gone
Yeah,
astray?
yeah.
It's a very
I
different
al-
kind of.
I also really like that one line where Abhishek meets her after 3 years and he says, "I tried very hard to hate you in the last 3 years, but I can't." Like
Yeah.
Because you
that's a
are
very
my
real.
only family. That was really heartbreaking. That he's like you are my only family, man. Like he has so many friends, but still like बचपन से सिर्फ इसी ने इसको देखा है. So I feel
Yeah.
like, and he asked her to be his best man, which is like just
Yeah.
For a second, I thought Urjita was gonna say, "Because you are my Sonia." It's like, okay, cool. That brings us to the end of this week's episode. Pramit, thank you so much for taking out time and talking to us on the show. Since you are a film critic, I have to ask, what's the last thing you saw that really blew you away and you would like to recommend it to our listeners and watchers?
Obviously, it is Bawaal. What are you talking about? I just last thing I saw was Bawaal, and I'm still thinking about it, and I highly recommend watching it. It has to be
On
watched
a
together.
weekend, on a weekend where everybody was busy with Barbie and Oppenheimer, the real winner was Bawaal.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
One is
Anything you want to plug,
Barbenheimer
Pramit?
and the other is Barbheimer.
Bawalenheimer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything you want to plug, Pramit? Where can people find your writing and your social media handles, please?
Yeah, so I'm mainly active on Twitter and Instagram. Both of them, I'm Prometheus at the rate Prometheus, and I write for Digital Mafia Talkies. So you can find my reviews, explainers, everything there. Yeah.
Nice. Urjita, anything you want to plug?
you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel. मैं ऐसा हर बार बोलती हूँ जबकि एक ही वीडियो डाली है मैंने, but no, I'm uploading shorts consistently, and yeah, I'm planning to upload a stand-up video by the end of this year. So yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also like follow me on Instagram @Urjitawani.
Okay, cool. All right. And you can follow me on Twitter @Abbas Momin and Abbas Momin88 on Instagram. Threads मुझे लगा था will take off, but it's now died down after like a week of excitement. So you follow me there, don't follow me there. There is no difference. But thank you all for watching us till the very end. If you are watching us on YouTube, please press the subscribe button, hit the like button. Actually, we are at 9.8 thousand subscribers, so please subscribe so that we can reach 10,000 soon, and we'll probably do something big when we reach 10,000. And if you're listening to us on an audio platform, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever they allow you to rate and review us, because it helps us reach more people. All right, one last time, thank you Pramit, thank you Urjita, and thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next week with a new movie and a new panelist. Till then, bye bye.
IVM.